What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we have survived Hurricane Ian, even though we in Fort Lauderdale, so you know, we didn't have much to worry about over here. If we got 40 miles an hour winds, it was a lot. So you know, the only thing that really happened to me is that I lost the top of my box, you know. But other than that, now see, I didn't even remove the cushions or nothing because it was really nothing to worry about. So there's just some leaves inside of the boat and stuff that I want to clean up, but I want to change the oil on my starboard engine. And you know, I have this little oil removing pump that I got it on Amazon, and I'm gonna try that out. But one thing that I want to also show you guys, you know, like does all the oil come out through the dipstick tube, right? Because most of you know, the boat channels, they will say like, oh, you can change the oil just by sucking it through the dipstick hole. So I'm gonna put that to test, you know. So I'm gonna suck the, you know, the oil through the dipstick hole, and then I'm gonna open the nut under the oil pan and see if there's any oil left in there. So let's give it a shot, you know. So you know, every time I change the oil, I just do it through the dipstick hole. But we're gonna try it, you know, and see if it actually all the oil comes out or not. So let's give it a shot. Look at this problem maker right here. If this gets sucked in on the intakes, it would be a problem. See, I gotta bleach the floor so where the leaves fell, the leaves leave stain, you see. But one thing about this boat, which of course each boat is different, right? But for me to gain full access to these engines, you know, I have 3 main hatches, you know, like a center hatch and 2 hatches above the engines. So, but on this side, I can completely move the seat apparatus and then just open this hatch up. But on that side, because of the subwoofers that are there, you see our subs, this whole seat system was permanently attached to that cover. So, you know, I have to slide this cover back for me to gain access to the engine. And, you know, my oil filter is on that side, the dipstick tube is on that side. So the easiest way for me to do this is just to move this out of the way, and then I have full access to the engine, right? But for me to slide that back, first I gotta, you know, fold this up and move this out. It's quite a pain, but you know, we gotta get it done. Alright guys, check it out. So I could have done all of this with this still on and just crawling under there and doing all of this, but it's a little hard. You gotta get there and back like 10 times, and it's a really tight fit. But let's get this done. First I have to turn her on, bring it to operating temperature, and then from that point on we're gonna try to use a little pump to suck most of the oil that we can out. And once that is done, I'm gonna try to see if I can get to the oil pan drain hole and see if there's any oil left in there. All right, let's get it done. We gotta turn the batteries on. The batteries goes on right here. All right, batteries are on. I'm only turning on that engine, the starboard engine, because that's the only engine I'm going to change the oil today. So alright, let's crank this puppy up. Alright. Start it right up. Now I'm gonna let her get nice and warm before we start taking that oil out. But there you go, let her warm up. I'm gonna go get the pump set up. Alright, so the engine's all warmed up. That oil is nice and warm. So now here's the thing, I have an empty jug here, two of these. This is the pump I'm gonna be using. I'll put a link in the description for Amazon, so you guys could get something like this. And now that the engine is all warmed up, we're gonna put one of these, one end to the dipstick hole and the other end in here. Okay, so here's my dipstick. Let's pull it out. Let's see how we were looking. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we just below the full mark. And kind of want to get it done, you know. So alright, so we're gonna put these aside. Now we're gonna get this suction end of our pump, and it actually slides right in there and actually creates suction. They send the right size of hose. Alright, let's turn it on and see what happens. Oh wow. The hose is kind of sucking on itself, but I guess I can help a little bit. So now I have to crawl all the way in there because my oil filter is on the very bottom over there. So I gotta go down there and take that oil filter out. So I have paper towels and my oil filter remover. Okay, so my GoPro had died in whatever point that was, right? So, freaking cameras. It didn't really die. I got an SD error. So I gotta fix that, but let's get this oil filter out of here. Okay. Very nice. So, the oil is pretty black. Now let me get this on the back of my truck to get disposed of, and I'll be right back. I have this little Tupperware that I use to drain the oil out of the generator. I'm hoping it fits under the engine. If it fits, we win. Alright, so the little Tupperware I just showed you guys fit perfect underneath the engine. Hopefully it's not more oil than fits in that. But I got my wrench right here, or my socket. I am on taking it out. Let's try. Successfully removed. I have no idea how much oil comes out or not. Let's go figure it out. Alright, let me see if I can get a shot from down there. Look where my hand has to go. Ow. Okay, I spilled a little bit of oil out of it. But you see that I spilled a ton of oil. But I have oil absorbent mats. It was probably when I was taking the bolt out, I missed a little. Alright guys, the verdict is in. This is all oil that came out of the engine after I finished sucking the oil through the dipstick hole. Look, and the oil needed to be changed. Like, see, I knew it. It's so black. But look, this is like a whole other quart right here, not counting, you know, plus there's the oil that was on the filter, but that was accounted for. And you know, so like, look how much oil, and the oil is not all in here. Unfortunately, while I was taking this bolt off, you know, by as soon as the bolt came out, all this oil spilled out, and I took my hand out and put this there, so I actually spilled a reasonable amount of oil under the engine. But I have oil absorbent rags I'm just gonna throw down there, and that'll absorb the oil, and then I'll clean it up. But look how much oil. So every time I changed the oil on this boat, it still was this much oil left behind. Wow, that's crazy. Which there was a little bit of black oil on the bottom of this, because I used this to clean the oil of my generator. But still, like, this is the oil that was inside of the engine. Mercruiser recommends changing the oil every 30 hours on this thing. So yeah, you know, like, it's tough to keep up with. But there you go, guys. You know, if you're gonna change your oil, make sure to go to the drain hole on the oil pan, you know, and not just through the dipstick hole. Which I think Mercruiser Gen 6, there's a setup where you can put you know, your dipstick that goes to the drain plug down there, right? So that's a setup that is doable, but I'm sure most boats are gonna be like, you know, and most engines are gonna be like this. Even though if the tube goes all the way to the bottom, the tube kind of penetrates the engine on the side, really. So the engine is a little bit on an angle, so there's gonna be oil still sitting in there. So the best way to do it is just remove the damn plug and let it drain out, and get all the oil out of the engine. So alright, guys, thank you for watching. I'm gonna put on the description below this pump that I used, and the oil also that I used, and my oil filter. But thank you everyone for watching, and I appreciate it to everyone that tuned in on the last episode that we went to Miami. Another episode is coming soon. We are planning to go to No Name Harbor, and then Elliott Key, and hopefully Boca Chica, maybe Marathon. We're planning some trips out. Probably next weekend we're gonna try something out. But thank you everyone for following along, and I see you guys in the very next episode. Thank you, guys.